Okay, here we go. Wooden Chair versus Team Huckin Spears. And we're on Cursed Hollow. First ban going the way of Wooden Chairs. Likely to be a Leeming or a Rhaegar ban. Though something like a Kel'Thas still possible, just not as likely. Now, what Wooden Chair may or may not know is they're actually first pick. So if they don't ban Leeming, and the other team doesn't ban Leeming, they can first pick Leeming. Have yet to see anyone figure this out yet on draft. So it looks like a Rhaegar ban from Wooden Chair. And I would be very surprised if Team Huckin Spears doesn't ban a Li Ming. Although I hope they don't, because then we get to see a Li Ming, and that's really fun to watch. I guess less fun to play against, but a caster can dream. They are debating it, but no, it will be the Li Ming. Boo. Meta is meta. What to do? I guess it's better than the KT Raynor meta we've had. So first pick going the way of Wooden Chair. Let's see what they open with. It's basically impossible to tell what a team's going to do until they get a pick or two going, unless you're already familiar with the team. Now I have cast Team Huckin Spears before once or twice, but honestly I cast so many games it's a little hard to keep track of people. So beyond knowing I cast them, I'm not entirely sure what their playstyle is. And first pick Tyrande can be slightly less ideal to first pick a Tyrande. No, not first pick, correction. When you only have one pick, so you can't immediately pick a follow-up combo hero like a Diablo or something. But it does, of course, give you plenty of flexibility for the rest of your draft, and obviously denies the enemy team a Tyrande. And here we have a Diablo, so that Tyrande pick by Wooden Chair was really good. Now Diablo will need to find another partner in crime. Soon Team Huckin Spears might grab. It isn't necessarily a combo for the Diablo yet. They could do it later if they wanted. But we'll see here. What they look to build the rest of their draft around. And it looks like they will go for a Zagara. Always a strong pick in the hands of a good Zagara player. Can do a lot of work on Cursed Hollow. So double pick going the way of Wooden Chair. They'll probably be looking to secure some damage here. And they don't even necessarily need a frontliner yet. They could pick those up later if they wanted. Could be a Kel'Thas, a Jaina, a Raynor, maybe a Greymane. Even Greymane's pretty nice with Tyrande. They might look for a Thrall or a Muradin even now. So Thrall or something doesn't get banned later. They definitely have a lot of options. Tyrande slots in nicely to most anywhere, but you definitely want to find some sort of chain stun combo with her to make full use of the hero's potential. An ETC, I was forgetting about an ETC. ETC works very well with Tyrande. Now we'll probably look for somebody who will dump damage off of ETC's Dance ultimate, like a Jaina or a Kel'Thas. I'd be very surprised if they don't grab a Kel'Thas right here. It'd be incredibly strong. And add one more stun to their kit. But of course they have other options, again, in the form of like a Greymane or a Raynor. A Thrall even if they wanted. Looks like they're going to go with the Raynor. No KT today for them. And ban time for Team Huckin Spears. They will be... It's hard to ban against the current draft of Wooden Chair because it's very strong. And it can still go a couple ways. They could even throw in a secondary support. They could throw in another ranged assassin. They could throw in another warrior. They might grab a bruiser like a Sonya. They might grab a Thrall. So what do you ban? It's Team Huckin Spears. It's hard to say because the options are quite varied. So do not envy their banning position right here. They are definitely thinking about it as well. 30 seconds left on the time pool. Looks like it will be the Thrall ban. Pretty safe ban there on their part, given there already is a Raynor and Tyrande, and Wooden Chair probably want another melee-orientated character on their team, so they themselves ban out the Kel'Thas, not wanting to fight against him. Not entirely sure. Well, no, Kel'Thas does go pretty well, actually. She goes extremely well. Team Huckin Spears, what am I saying, off of Apocalypse or Zagara's Maw, would do major work. So a smart ban there on the side of Wooden Chair. Double pick here for Team Huckin Spears. They will definitely look to secure themselves another damage dealer, I suspect, and perhaps even a support. There's the Jaina. They're going for big AoE wombo combo here on the side of Team Huckin Spears. This is going to be rough. And the question is, do they grab a support now? Do they go for another melee? They could go for a warrior, or even if they want to be a little crazy, they could go for another bruiser like Sonya, or pick something a little more safe. I mean, they could even go with Stitches, actually, with this team. Stitches would be very interesting, although you don't want to hook ETC. Looks like it'll be a Felstad. Pretty safe option, actually. Great option here versus the aggro style team you know Wooden Chair is going to be running when you have an ETC in Tyrande. That is not a safe defensive team. That is a jump in your face and blow you up sort of team, and coupled with the Rainer. And again, looks like they're looking for more aggro here with the Greymane. I was hoping to see a Greymane. I mentioned it once or twice earlier in the draft already, so I really hope they go through with this pick. Greymane could clean up Felstad and Jaina and Zagara even, should he get the right range going, or the right timing. He struggled a bit versus Diablo in Worgen form. There is the Greymane, and last pick, I would be surprised. Well, again, they could go another support. An Abathur. I like it. Not direct support, but global infest support anyway. Team Huckin Spears, I believe they'll be very remiss if they do not go another melee character here. But they would need to pick a support. Uther's on the table, Charism's on the table, but they go for Lieutenant Morales. That is putting a lot on Diablo. So let's get the game started here. So that is a Tyrande ETC Rainer Greymane Abathur for Wooden Chair, and a Lieutenant Morales Felstad Jaina Zagar Diablo for Team Huckin Spears. Now I've seen the last 3-4 games I've casted, I've seen multiple teams first pick a Diablo, and then proceed to pick 4 super squishies with him. It doesn't honestly make a lot of sense, because Diablo doesn't control multiple people outside of Apocalypse, assuming he even takes it. He only controls one person, which means the rest of his team is very susceptible. It's not that hard to get past Diablo as an ETC or even as a Greymane. So we will just have to see how this goes for Team Huckin Spears. They do have the burst potential and the combo potential to take out Wooden Chair here, looking at the draft, but it's a gamble. It's definitely a bit more of a risky draft. If it works, it'll work extremely well, but if Diablo dies, pretty much the whole team falls apart in the face of something like ETC, Tyrande, Rainer, Greymane, and Abathur diving in your face. So they do have Felstad, Mighty Gust, and Zagarma. They have some tools. They have basically the best disengage tools in the game between Felstad and Zagara, but if you're always having to defensively use your ultimates, it's probably not the best way to go, but we will have to see how it all shakes out here in a minute. One of the players seems to have a little trouble readying up. What am I saying? Okay, game on. Boom, let's get this game started. And I will switch over to the draft. What am I saying? Switch over to the game. There we go. Okay. So the draft for Wooden Chair here is fairly straightforward. You're looking for an ETC Power Slide and follow up with a Tyrande Arrow, or you knock him back and then Tyrande Arrow. Raynor auto attacks / bullseyes them, and Greymane dumps damage and or leaps in them in Worgen form. That'll pretty much be their bread and butter throughout the game whenever they can take it, which will basically be the Diablo unless someone else is out of position. Even with Lieutenant Morales backup, Diablo is going to struggle to stay alive this game. But let's find out. And for Wooden Chair, we have Super Jova on ETC, the team captain. Durnide on the Rainer, Corgi Booty, oh yeah, on the Abathur, Zoltango on the Greymane, Shiz on the Tyrande, and for Team Huckin Spears, we have Paragon of Honor on Lieutenant Morales, the team captain, Rectim on Felstad, Dark on Diablo, Gregson on Jaina, and Jammers on Zagara. So we're on Cursed Hollow here, and this is going to be a very interesting match. Both teams have a lot of potential. Both drafts have a lot of potential, both with basic combo power and ability power, so this should be pretty interesting. We have a Owl here trying to scout things out, but it won't catch anything. Looks like we'll have a 5-man bottom, though, from Team Huckin Spears. Quick talk on level 1 talents. The Hunter's Mark Reduc for the Tyrande, the Locust for the Abathur, the Seasoned Marksman for the Rainer, and the Power Slide for the ETC, and the 5-man push bottom really quick by Team Huckin Spears will to completely destroy a tower and half the gate. Nicely done for basically free. Oh, ETC will push the Morales out of position here, and now it's ETC's turn to be out of position. He's really trying to get rid of this Morales, but no, nobody will die despite the hijinks. And Trauma Trigger on the Morales there, proccing, kind of help saving your life. The Season's Marksman for the Felstad, much like Rainer, he'll be looking to gather those stacks all game. Diablo probably going for the Soulstone boost since they changed the icons, I'm not really sure. Yep, Soul Feast. Jaina going for Deep Chill, and Zagara going for Creepy Constitution. Speaking of Zagara, she is heavily bullying out this Greymane bottom. It's quite hard laning against Zagara. Only a few heroes can do it well. Greymane being forced to well tap, or as my friend likes to call it, a sippy cup. Diablo here, waiting in the bushes for a gank. Bashing ETC around isn't going to do too much to him, but pulling him right back into that blizzard, I like that synergy there. Nice timing by the Jaina. Gregson chunked down the ETC bit, forcing him to heal up, forcing Tyrande to heal him, and it looks like we'll get some more damage here. Oh, almost. That blizzard a little too late though. Long cooldown on that skill. Jaina throwing out a little FU crossbolt there. Meanwhile, it is Felstad versus Rainer and Abathur top lane. We have some more hijinks middle? No, we don't. Missed arrow there by the Tyrande. Both teams rapidly approaching level 4, pretty much even here. And let's see what the talents they take. Jaina takes Extended Blizzard, AoE. Zagara taking, of course, the Envenomed Spine. Felstad going for the Secret Weapon, or is it Power Throw now? Power Throw, Secret Weapon, they shuffle the talent. Advanced Block for the Morales. Diablo taking the Fire Devil, excuse me. Rainer focused attack. Tyrande taking the Piercing Owl, canceling out the Diablo here. Tributes up, of course. Jaina deterring anyone from coming in. I'm not sure what Greymane talent that is. That is Thick Skin. Oh, ETC went Progressive Rocket 1. Oh, ETC in a lot of trouble here. He will Power Slide out to safety, though. Morales keeping everyone up nice and healthy. CTC taking a lot of damage, though. The Tyrande, it's the problem with Tyrande as a healer until maybe level 10 and 13. A nice... They're taking some heavy damage here. All this poke power coming out the way by the way of Team Huckin Spears. Wooden Chair being forced to retreat, and the first tribute going the way of Huckin Spears. And ever so slight level lead going the way of Wooden Chair due to the Abathur, soak in the lane. Oh, this Greymane, though, possibly in a lot of trouble, but Zagara a little slow to follow up there. He's probably going to be okay. She got a few auto attacks in, he wouldn't have died, but would have threatened him a lot more anyway. So ETC and Tyrande struggling to keep their mana up. Being forced to use a lot of heal power to stay alive. Jaina, oh, it's the Star Princess mount from the Leeming bundle. I haven't seen that in game yet. Again, both teams rapidly approaching level 7. Abathur dismounting the Jaina there. Whoops. I missed a Zagara kill. I'm not sure where she died. Maybe from the Greymane? Not really sure what happened there. There is a lot more of Team Huckin Spears here than there is Wooden Chair. Oh, this Tyrande was so out of position for just a moment. I'm surprised that Diablo didn't grab her. This Rainer is beyond dead, though. Bye bye, Space Marine. Felstad doesn't really want to be there, right next to a Greymane. Now he gets away. Oh. Tyrande canceling out the Jaina. Oh, level 7 for teams. Forgot to talk about those talents, but we'll have to do that in a minute. Diablo bullying the CTC along with the Zagara. He's in a lot of trouble, but he will probably survive. And tribute number 2 going the way of Team Huckin Spears. Oh, Felstad looking to find the Sabather, bottom perhaps. So let's talk about some more talents here. Follow through. What? Follow through in ETC? What madness is this? I don't know. Revolution Overdrive for Rainer, Vile Nest for the Abathur, was in Duelist for Greymane. That's a fun talent. Battle Momentum on the Tyrande. Surprised not to see a Lunar Flare there, Lunar Blaze, whatever the level 7 range is. Clear for the Medic, not bad. Secret Weapon, of course, for the Falstad. You basically have to go that combo after Power Throw, or it doesn't make much sense. And Jaina going for the Frostbite damage, and Endless Creep for the Zagara. I'm happy last game did not see an Endless Creep with the Zagara instead of Reconstitution. I was a little disappointed. I really do like to see the Endless Creep going up. So third tribute going up here, and it is on Team Huckin Spears' side. This is definitely to their advantage. They have a slight level lead, and it will be easier for the rest of the team to get here, though Jaina is a little behind. Felstad in a bit of trouble, but able to barrel roll out. The Jaina AoE just chunking down this team. Diablo body slamming, being healed up by the Morales. ETC being forced back. This Tyrande only works as a solo support if you can blow people up. And Team Wooden Chair, this Tyrande is going bye-bye, I'm afraid. Team Wooden Chair has the combo potential to blow people up between Greymane and Rainer and Tyrande, but it's just not working out for them. Now, I did complain, basically, as Diablo just going so aggressive onto this Rainer, but a Rainer will have Adrenaline Rush to save his life. I mentioned at the start of the draft that they might have a problem keeping Diablo alive, but so far they're having no problem whatsoever. It's working out very nicely for them. He's able to isolate targets, bring him back to his team, combo it with the Jaina Blizzard. Very nice timing. I like the Diablo and Jaina timing this map. Oops. This Abathur might be in trouble. In fact, he's getting flown on directly by the Felstad. Power throw. Oh, if he wanted to be super crazy, he could have dove over that wall. In fact, I'm surprised he didn't. Though Zagara, a little out of position here. Ring of Frost being used. Bit of a misplay there by Jaina. Not going to do too much, but down will go the ETC. Of course, we have Apocalypse for Diablo, Gust for Felstad, Stim Drone for the Lieutenant Morales. Jaina taking the Ring of Frost just used, and Zagara also mod, but I missed it because I was watching Abathur, Felstad attempting to kill Abathur top lane there. Level 10 now as well for Team Wooden Chair. The Shadowstalk, Go for the Throat, Ultimate Evolution Clone, Hyperion, and of course the Mosh Pit. So Team Wooden Chair now, they've been having a bit of a rough go of it here, 2-6, and but they've caught up in the EXP lead, thanks in part to Abathur and a kill or two. And but now that Team Wooden Chair has their ultimates, they're going to be a lot more scary. That ETC dance is going to do some cause significant problems for them should it land on more than a few people. Greymane, Rainer, and Tyrande will all be able to just unload on them, and it will not be fun. Though, that being said, they have a decent number of tools to cancel the ETC dance, mainly in the form of Lieutenant Morales Grenade, but she also did take that extended knockback. And of course, Diablo himself can always Apocalypse if need be, but he's one of the most likely dance targets. Felstad also has the Mighty Gust, and as long as Felstad isn't caught, he can easily just gust out the dance, and his cooldown is is about a third the time of the Felstad. Of the ETC. And then, of course, last but not least, they have the Zagarma as well. So, this Rainer taking a lot of damage, being forced to proc. Adrenaline Rush. Diablo maybe looking to jump on this Greymane. In fact, he will, but where is the team follow-up? Where's the grab? I'm not sure why Diablo didn't body slam somebody there. Maybe he was just out of range, but I really feel like he could have proceeded body block. But his team would have had to follow up, and they were sort of running around. I mean, they should really be following Diablo at this point with the Jaina and Zagara. The next tribute would definitely be coming along soon. The Team Huckin Spears did get a curse off, but I guess bottom did get destroyed. But other than that, well, this middle fort is going down. I'm surprised to see Jaina not cast a blizzard there and attempt to get rid of the fort. Level 13 for both teams here, momentarily anyway. Abathur Mine slowing down the team. You have the groupies for ETC to heal, Giant Killer on the Rainer, Bombard Strain for the Abathur, Unfettered Assault for the Greymane, Overflowing Light, of course, for the Tyrande, not surprising there. Diablo going for the Rage. Maybe a big ETC dance. Oh, seems to have been. Oh, it was the ETC killed very quickly here. Diablo, well, not going down thanks to Lieutenant Morales. A big Ring of Frost here by the Jaina, and we had Apocalypse. Stimjum on the Felstad, but he will be forced to pretty much run. Almost, no, completely healed up here by the Lieutenant Morales. Diablo, though, oh, these teams. No, oh my goodness, the Zagara. So close to dying, but... Oh, and that Rainer, too. Looks like they will go immediately for boss. It's Lieutenant Morales really working out very nicely for Team Huckin Spears. Slightly, honestly, better than I thought versus the burst power of Team Wooden Spears. I mean, they're putting all their eggs in one basket with the Tyrande. Oh, is this going to be a boss steal? No, we will have a Hellstad Mighty Gust. And, oh, but here comes an ETC clone. This is getting crazy, but the boss has been taken. Diablo will go down, but he has that quick res. Down goes the Rainer. That will cost them a lot more, but this Greymane looking to clean up. We have a Shadow Stock. Oh, he will down, he will go. This ETC clone desperately trying to kill Lieutenant Morales, and he might... Nope, nope, there, her advanced block triggered. Oh my goodness, what a fight. Tyrande being forced to solo defend versus this Terror. That was, I believe, 4 kills ultimately gone the way of Team Huckin Spears, and now poor Abathur, Pajamathur Abathur getting bullied by the Diablo. And that Diablo Firestorm and Fire Devil combo proving a little too strong for our pajamaed friend there. Post level 13 here for both teams, didn't quite get to fully talk about it. Jaina, of course, taking that ice block, saving her last time. Looks like we have a couples therapy, maybe, for Morales. Yep, so she can self-heal. And level 16 now, we have the Northern Exposure and the, what is it? Opposing Presence with Diablo, Hammer Time, Shield Sequence, Boot Expansion. This Zagara really out of position. I'm not sure what she's doing. Oh, she is obviously poking for her team to get the boss and attempt to delay the tribute, which is very smart. Oh, and I'm not sure what that... This Rainer is sadly abandoned by his team. We do have an Abathur clone. There seems there's some disconnect here on the side of Wooden Chair's team communication. That was... If they were going to stay, they should have all stayed and instantly cloned somebody and attempted to fight basically 5v5 with the Abathur clone. But instead they left the Rainer for dead and then randomly cloned the Greymane, which wasted the cooldown on that. And not really accomplishing much there. Zagara cheekily coming up the side here to harass. I don't know what that Shadow Stock was either. It is yet another wasted ultimate. I guess maybe they're trying to set up for an ETC dance or something, but they can't versus the boss, Ground and Pound. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Here goes Hyperion, trying to push back this creep wave, which it will do successfully. Meanwhile, Abathur soaking and pushing bottom lane. And Team Huckin Spears just roaming around. The Zagara is on cooldown, but every other ultimate is available. Hyperion and Shadowstock were used, however, so they're not up for the side of Team Wooden Chair. And a tribute out, this will be another curse for Team Huckin Spears, should they be able to steal it. And basically the only saving grace Team Wooden Chair has is they get a good ETC dance off. That is the only way they're going to win this game, period. But they can't manage to do that, the draft just is not going to come together. If they can't manage to blow somebody up with a Tyrande, that's proving really hard to do. But this Zagara, my Zagara is really out of position. She gets him off, but she will die. There's an Apocalypse and a Ring of Frost. And both will whiff due to the Maw. This is basically what they needed, just some misplays to happen. But still, the Greymane will be bullied. Oh, there's a big dance, but a Mighty Gust instantly will cancel it. Lieutenant Morales looking to keep the Diablo alive and not quite happening. There's a 2-for-1 trade, but with the Jaina and the Felstad bully power, they may be able to just stay here and fight through it. It's pretty much hard to say who might take this. ETC is out of mana. Jaina, though, however, also a bit out of mana. Morales being such a defensive support, she can't really add anything to this fight other than her heals. Ooh, a missed Q though. Ooh, this Felstad, not really where he wants to be. That Grell ETC will go down, and Raynor will use the Hyperion, but I don't think it is going to stop them. Zagara is on the way here, and they will need to watch out, because with Zagara here, they will not be able to contest this tribute. No, but we will have a Raynor clone, which will not really accomplish anything. Zagara being a little too aggressive, but healed up by Lieutenant Morales. Shadowstalk, trying to, no, not looking to contest, just to escape. Attempting to save the Rainer's life with the Shadowstalk, and it looks like it will work. Maybe not, maybe not. Oh, will they find him in time? He's right there. Poor Raynor. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Today is not your day, sir. Not your day. Very drawn-out fight there. That was well played by both teams. I mean, Team Wooden Spears and Wooden Chair, excuse me, immediately blew up the Zagara at the start of that fight. And Team Huckin Spears even completely whiffed Ring of Frost and Apocalypse. Not really sure why. I think they sort of panic used them for the Zagara, but the Maw effect ruined it all. But even despite basically 3 wasted ultimates on the side of Team Huckin Spears, they still ultimately won that engagement. This goes to show the power of their draft and their team play. There's a nice capitalization by Team Wooden Spears. I'm gonna keep mixing up their team names, I'm sorry, Team Wooden Chair. Oh, here's an Apocalypse, big Apocalypse. This Tyrande might, no, she will stay alive. Falstad Mighty Gust though, pushing ETC and Greymane out of position. Diablo down for 55 seconds. ETC. Whoa. Oh, level 20. Oh, no! Zagara attempting the Maw, the ETC. ETC being wise to the maneuver, power sliding right out of it. We have Double Bolt of the Storm for Jane and Zagara. We have Dying Breath for Diablo. And Nexus Frenzy, of course, for Felstad, and Cadius Reactor 2.0 for the Lieutenant Morales. That was unfortunate. Zagara wasted 2 big cooldowns there. A 70, maybe 80-second now cooldown of Bolt of the Storm and her Maw just for an ETC who I don't even think he would have died if the Maw landed. He could have just waited, knocked them back, and power slid out after it. A nice boss take. Boss taken here by Wooden Chair. This will force Team Huckin Spears to respond. They took a siege camp, and Zagara, I'm not really sure what she's doing other than planting some creep. This boss will be cleaned up fairly quickly by Team Huckin Spears through the power of Felstad and the Jaina. And Team Wooden Chair taking their siege camp, and looks like they'll move into taking their Bruiser camp. Now also taken. Nicely done. And I'd be very surprised if Team Huckin Spears doesn't move to clean up their own Bruiser camp and then look towards the boss. But as you can see, Team Wooden Chair already posturing to either take or try to ambush the boss. But Zagara's creep will let them know, Team Wooden Chair, exactly where they are. They have to be careful here. One bad fight for either team could swing the game in a big way. Not sure why. Oh, I mean, Team Huckin Spears really could have gone in there quite easily and sandwiched them. Just simply walked around and barreled into them from the top above the bruiser camp. But they wanted to play it safe. And the tribute is up, but both teams at 0-3-0-3, they probably aren't going to really care about the tribute, and they will opt for the smart option to take their boss. Zagara will clean up the bruiser camp middle. So now this counter boss will force Team Wooden Chair to respond. It looks like they might just push him bottom lane and take this fort, but no. Oh, they can't. They had some siege giants actually hitting their core and snuck in bottom lane throughout all that. Diablo maybe a little out of position here without his team. You don't really want to be clearing minions as the solo warrior in your team. But the 5-man push top on top of a boss, this could get a little dicey for Team Wooden Chair. If Team Huckin Spears capitalizes on this, gets a few pickoffs, that is game. That is instantly GG. They have no way to come back from that. ETC looking for a big dance here, though it'll instantly be cancelled by a Felstead Mighty Gust. Of course, we have Shadowstalk used and Hyperion. Diablo looking to bully out, and Storm Shield used there, and we have a Stim Drone on the Felstead used defensively. And we have a Felstead Abathur Greymane clone here. This could prove a little disastrous for Team Huckin Spears if they aren't careful. They're going to want to stay together. But I believe Zagara got the tribute. I wasn't quite watching that there. But the boss did do 7% core damage to Wooden Chair's core. I believe I didn't talk about Team Wooden Chair's level 16 talents, or their 20s for that matter. Speed Metal for the ETC, Bullseye for the Rainer, Locust Brood for the Abathur, Worgen Alpha Killer for the Greymane, True Shot Aura. Of course, we have Storm Shield, Hunter Splendor Bus, Locust Nest, Nexus Friendly, and Tour Bus. I love Tour Bus. And not as big a Moz as I thought it would be. Oh, this is going to hurt for whoever's in that Ring of Frost. That Tyrande is deader than dead. Diablo looking to try and clean up this Rainer. He might do it, but it's Greymane a little out of position. Abathur cloning the Greymane. Clone is not going to achieve much. Diablo looking to bully this ETC. And, the Worgen cleaning up. But this is looking bad for Team Wooden Chair. That was a 2-for-2 trade, but with 34% core power and a stim on Zagara, this is most likely looking to be game. They can just suicide core it, as they say, not even required. Pretty exciting match. 8-16, but XP being even pretty much throughout the game. Some nice boss snipes by both teams. GG, well played, with the win going to Team Huckin Spears. Team Wooden Chair. So, match analysis on this one. Basically, Team Huckin Spears had too much battlefield control from basically every single one of their heroes, whereas Team Wooden Chair was relying pretty much solely on the ETC to provide all their battlefield control. And ETC can do this. He can accomplish it on his own. He's capable of that, which is why he's such a scary warrior. He has so much bully power and so much ult power. But if you don't get the setup, it's not that he didn't get the setup, it's just that Falstad was too wise to the ETC dance and always made sure that he had Mighty Gust up, that he wasn't getting danced, he was saving his barrel roll, and pretty much every single dance just got canceled by a Falstad Mighty Gust at least 3 to 4 times. And some other times it might have been, I think he got a dance off, and I think he just got blown up by somebody, like the Jaina. I mean, um, really, really close there. I would have been interested to see how the draft would have went, the game would have went for Team Huckin Spears if instead of Morales they had something like an Uther. Although that I believe that would have also provided its own set of problems for Wooden Share between the Divine Shield and the stun and everything like that. One more stun. Um, the only way Wooden Chair's draft is going to work is if the only way Tyrande solo supports now and forever, unless she changes, is if you blow people up before a fight goes on and on and on. Because she can't sustain any sort of damage to her team. It's not in her kit. So she's utility support that thrives on blowing people up with Hunter's Mark and her Lunar Arrow, Lunar Flare, whatever it's called. And they had the heroes to do it with the ETC and the Knockback and the Worgen and the Rainer, but it just never really happened. Definitely a little some coordination issues on the side of Wooden Chair. We saw a few times the team running away and coming back, and a few Abathur clones randomly used, a Shadow Stock randomly used. Just a little, maybe with a little more coordination, they might have been able to pull something off, or ETC maybe should have taken Stage Dive instead of Mosh Pit. I mean, it sounds crazy because it's such a better ult, but there's just too many cancels on the side of Team Huckin Spears. Zagara can cancel you, Diablo can cancel you, Falstad can cancel you, Morales can cancel you. The only one who can't cancel you is Jaina. And the likelihood of dancing Zagara, Felstad, Morales, and Diablo all at once are basically slim and none. So with that in mind, he might have gotten more value out of Stage Dive. At least it's a big AoE slow and a bit of damage and reposition and stuff like that. It's hard to say because that's a tough combo. Anytime you're fighting a Zagara, Diablo, Felstad, again, like I said, every single one of them provides control. Morales can grenade, knocks you out of position. Felstad can gust, knock you out of position. Diablo can, shadow charge you, body slam you, and apocalypse you. Jaina is constantly slowing you, and then Ring of Frost can root you. And Zagara has the Maw, so it's just Team Huckin Spears really drafted themselves a wide set of tools to deal with whatever picks might come out of the enemy team. I mean, I wouldn't say Wooden Chair drafted badly. Other than the Abathur honestly didn't make sense for this game whatsoever. There's nothing wrong with picking a specialist. They could have gone, a Sylvanas or an Asmodan or something. Asmodan's quite good on this map. You can cast your General of Hell, globally and just throw it on the other side of the map where Tribute's going opposite and have it do a ton of push power. And Sylvanas, of course, providing Wailing Arrow and a damage amp of her own at level 16 to help counter Jaina's, and Sergeant Hammer even, possibly, though you'd need to go more of a Sergeant Hammer build, team build. There's nothing wrong with specialists, but Abathur, last game we saw Abathur working with Illidan, but it was Abathur, Illidan, Tyrande, Tassadar. It's a very specific protect the Illidan build, and that made sense. Abathur here wasn't doing anything for everyone. Abathur and Greymane's not bad, but you can't spend that much time in Worgen form, basically, versus this kind of damage. It's just not going to happen. So, that was that. Basically. Yeah, interesting game, fun game. Even despite, being down 8 kills and down lane control a lot of the time. Excuse me. Team Wooden Chair did keep up their EXP, evenly, pretty much even in EXP all game long, maybe a few seconds behind. One actually hit level 13 before Team Huckin Spears. It was a few seconds, but still. So I would say pretty well played. Maybe just tighten up their coordination a bit, draft a slightly stronger team or stronger last pick, in this case a specialist, which can actually work with your team a bit more on a basic level rather than relying on like Abathur clones and stuff like that. But fun game to watch, fun game to cast, so thanks to everyone who played. GG. And be signing off now. If you enjoyed, then please give a sub, and I will be back on Thursday. Monday, Thursday is when I cast, and be casting some more games. And I will also be providing a VOD to the captains.